who would be your Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks in the NFL that you've either watched or worked with?
That's a great question. First off, I'm going to start off with the reason I went back to the Oakland Raiders was to work with Carson Palmer. All right, he's a guy I worked with. All right, so you talk about decision-making, timing, accuracy. He checks the boxes in all three of those. Size. People don't give Carson the credit for the type of athlete he was. It was the first time I'd been around a passer that was, people want to equate athleticism to guys like, Josh Allen, Lamar, all those guys. Well, Carson was the first player I was around that just had unbelievably gifted pocket athleticism. And then, I learned how he saw that and how he worked it and what he thought of it and, why he moved certain ways. And it helped me grow as a coach. And because I'm gonna be honest with you, when you're around guys like that at any stage in your coaching career, if you don't listen to how some of those type of players view the game, then you're really missing out. You're really missing out. Another guy that would be, I grew up just absolutely loving Joe Montana. I mean, he's the ultimate winner. One of the highlights of my life was getting to spend time with him. My dad, when he was the AD at Boston College, we played out in San Francisco at the San Francisco Giants ballpark out there at the bowl game when they had it out there, which is an unbelievable venue. But Joe Montana was in the box with us, and it was just unbelievable. I was the quarterback coach of the Raiders at the time, and like my childhood idol wanted to talk football with me. Like that's just I didn't believe this was even happening. Like I couldn't believe the guy I had poster after poster after poster in my room growing up as a kid wanted to sit and talk football with me, and ask me about how I viewed football. Obviously, you got to put Tom Brady up there. I mean, having a chance to be around him for a limited time when I was a head coach in the UFL this year, it's just fascinating being around those guys, the way he views the game, how intense he is about the game. I mean, he wants to talk about how you're protecting against certain blitzes and wants to grow and learn. A guy that's accomplished that much that wants to go into another high pressure venue in broadcasting and put himself out to the world, to me, takes a lot of courage and a lot of, I'm sure he's been humbled. It's been humbling at times for him doing that. And then I'm going to include another sportscaster in there. And again, I'll wrap this up on why I chose these guys. I loved always just talking to Troy Aikman, again, very similar to Tom in that the way he views the game is, I'll give you a great, I was the offensive coordinator in Minnesota, and Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen. This was when Adam Thielen was in the middle of breaking all of his quarterback record or his receiver records. He started the season, I think, with 8 straight 100-yard games, and it was an NFL record, broke Randy Moss's record. And I was sitting on the phone talking with Troy in our production meeting, and I was talking about how good our receiver room was. And this thing, he goes, "Your receiver room's not very good." And I was just like, "What?" He goes, "Well, who's your third option?" He goes, "When they start to double Diggs and double Thielen, who can win a one-on-one matchup? I don't see anybody on tape that can win one." And it was very interesting to hear that, because I was like, holy crap, he's right. And it was just, I'm all, and I'm saying puffing my chest out, but all proud that we have 2 of the top receivers in the league, and we're doing well on offense. And he's like, "Yeah." He goes, when I had Michael Irvin, but I had Harper on the other side. I had Novacek, and Emmitt Smith was unbelievable out of the backfield. He goes, teams couldn't cover us. Like they didn't, as soon as they took away the Harper and Irvin, he goes, I had Novacek and Emmitt on the inside. He goes, I always had somebody in a one-on-one. And things you learn as you pick up. So those guys that I just mentioned, I like those guys because I learned a lot from them. Obviously, great players, but I really learned a lot from them along the way.